Welcome everybody to this edition of an Attention Talk video. I'm your host, ADHD and attention coach, Jeff Copper. And today I'm here to talk about systems, environments, and or scheduling. I find this fascinating. I think a lot of people get kind of confused. Scheduling something doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to do it. The environment, when you have ADHD, often has a lot to do with it. So what does that mean? Let me give you an example. Exercise is a repetitive and boring task. Scheduling it on Saturday at noon doesn't change the fact that it's a repetitive and boring task. In fact, if you schedule it, I find a lot of times people don't do it. All kinds of things people do. They schedule it. I got to put this on the calendar as if it's going to do it. And I found with ADHD, it's really more important to deal with the environment. So when it comes to exercise, for those that don't know, I was an internationally ranked swimmer back in the 80s. Went to Olympic trials, consolation finals, U.S. national, NCAAs. I know I wasn't an Olympian, but I got to know those guys. Anyway, you don't have to be impressed by that other than say that I swim for 4 hours a day and have continued athletically for most of my life. But today, as we speak, I've had exercise partners since 1998. And if I'm going to swim, it's not going to happen unless I'm going to meet a friend at the pool because it changes the environment. It's a social event at that point in time. Number one, whenever I'm with somebody, I swim farther. I also swim faster. There's a competitiveness of it, or if they're my ability, or I handicap it, which is a whole nother conversation. The point really is that the environment of having somebody there with me is really the facilitator that enables me to do it, as opposed to just scheduling it. I've had other videos that I've talked about people with ADHD are voice activated. A lot of times they need to talk out loud because it's less taxing to their working memory, which is a concept that might be kind of foreign to you. If you want to learn more, just Google Attention Talk Radio GPS and listen to my interview with Dr. Barkley on that. But a lot of times if you're going to do something that's challenging, it's just not scheduling. It's maybe having somebody there that you can talk out loud with or talk through some things. The point of this video and the insight is all too often, I think people just think if I schedule it or there's a tip, a trick, or strategy, that's what's there. And I find if the environment isn't conducive for you, then most of those things aren't going to work. And I find that people emphasize too much just trying harder with a schedule or something like that, as opposed to understanding the facilitators, what enables you to actually get that stuff done. So what I'm hoping this does is kind of shift your thought process a little bit. How do you find that stuff out? Well, get a coach, or whenever you're successful, figure out what enabled you to do it, what was environmentally there, and see if you can replicate it. So with that, if you haven't subscribed to our channel, please do. We release a tip or a thought or an insight each week. And if I'm interested in your thoughts on this video, make a comment. Does this make some sense? Have you used any other ideas? So with that, I hope this has given you pause to think. Hope you've enjoyed this edition of Attention Talk video. Take care.